So the Trump administration just announced that they're going to be prioritizing denaturalization cases against naturalized US citizens. These are citizens, like foreign nationals who became permanent residents who thereafter became US citizens through the naturalization process. In this video, I'm going to go over whether or not this is something you should be afraid of, what it really means, how this all works. As background, I used to work these cases on behalf of the government when I worked for the Department of Justice, so I have sort of inside knowledge on how these cases are handled by the government. First and foremost, welcome back to the channel. My name is Adrian Pandev. I'm an attorney and I try to make the maze that is the US government easier for all foreign nationals, and my goal with these videos is to clarify a lot of the things you're seeing in the news and a lot of the processes and hopefully make them easier to understand. Now, let's jump into denaturalization. So what is denaturalization? Denaturalization is a process in which someone's US citizenship can be taken. Now, first and foremost, you have to understand that only naturalized US citizens can be denaturalized, right? So if you're a natural born US citizen, so you were born inside the US, you're born to US citizen parents, etc., there's no denaturalization process that could ever affect you, right? So this only applies to individuals who were, foreign nationals, came here, became permanent residents, whether it's through their parents or individually through work or, whichever means. You became a permanent resident, you had a green card, and then filed to become a US citizen through naturalization. Those are the individuals that could be impacted by this. Now, who can be denaturalized, right? What does the government have to prove in order to denaturalize someone? Well, what you need to know is that it's an incredibly high bar. So how does the whole denaturalization procedure work? So the US Department of Justice, main justice in DC, where I worked, right? They first have to initiate the case with a federal court. They have to file a complaint in which they have to present clear and convincing evidence that leaves no doubt that the individual either illegally procured their US citizenship or became a US citizen by concealing material facts or through willful misrepresentation of material facts. So the bottom line is that the government has to show to a federal judge that there's been some sort of serious violation or crime or major issue in someone's record that they hid from US immigration, whether it's through at the naturalization stage or previously at the green card stage, right? Generally speaking, right? When people hear, when they hear the rule, they think, oh, I forgot to disclose a parking ticket or whatever, speeding ticket. That is not what we're talking about here. During my time at the Department of Justice, I only saw denaturalization cases for individuals who were war criminals, terrorists, major drug dealers, major criminals, murderers, child sex offenders, just to put it bluntly, bad guys. And although the media right now is, presenting a lot of, the media is saying that, look, if this becomes a major enforcement priority, these cases could be initiated against individuals, who committed lesser crimes and then naturalized and didn't disclose. Even the examples that I saw cited in the media were child sex offenders and similar individuals. So the bottom line here is, generally speaking, and everything I've seen when it comes to denaturalization, the Department of Justice only initiates these cases against really, really bad guys. So if you haven't committed any serious crimes that you didn't disclose during your immigration process previously, well then this should not impact you, right? But let's assume the Department of Justice starts initiating these cases for lesser crimes. Even then, the US federal judges, right? Because these cases are filed in federal district court. So a federal judge will still have to make that decision. The decision is made by the federal judge. So the bottom line here is that the federal judge will need to be convinced that the particular offenses, the particular violations cited in the complaint by the DOJ rise to the level where they feel comfortable taking someone's US citizenship. In my experience, judges really hold the government to their standard. They take this really seriously. They understand what U.S. citizenship means, right? They don't want to just take people's U.S. citizenship and turn it into some kind of visa that can easily be taken and canceled. So even if all of a sudden the DOJ starts prioritizing, these cases and bringing, call it weaker denaturalization cases, the federal judges are going to act as a backstop. And keep in mind, federal judges are lifetime appointees. They're appointed, various administrations. They're not recent appointees. So it's highly unlikely that any judge would just rubber stamp these filings by the DOJ. So where does this leave you, and what does this mean for you? And this is what's most important, and that's why I'm shooting this video. Denaturalization was always here. These cases always existed. This is a process that the government does. I worked at the office that handled these cases. There's nothing new there, right? And even if they become a priority now and the DOJ wants to file more of these, there's, in my opinion, very many cases out there where individuals committed really bad crimes who still naturalized because they lied and concealed important information. So in my opinion, the cases that are going to be targeted here are those individuals, even if there's more filings made, right? So if you've not committed serious crimes that you didn't disclose during your naturalization or green card process, to put it bluntly, you should have nothing to fear, right? This is for individuals who became U.S. citizens unlawfully and shouldn't have become U.S. citizens. If you obtained your green card, through proper procedures, there were no issues, and you've never concealed, any material facts, and you haven't committed serious crimes, this should not be impacting you. And the reason I'm shooting this video is because I saw a lot of news articles. There's just a lot of information out there that was basically made it seem like U.S. citizens should now all of a sudden fear deportation. I don't think that's realistic. At the same time, if you're worried about any of this, if you think there may be issues with your immigration history, if especially if you've committed some serious crimes that you didn't disclose on any immigration application, you should consider talking to an immigration lawyer. But for, I would say, 99+% of naturalized U.S. citizens, even though this is going to become an enforcement priority, it should not impact you, and I don't anticipate it impacting you. If you found this video helpful, please like it, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll do my best to, record more videos. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and I'll do my best to record videos on those too. Thank you so much for watching.